Hi guys, this is AA Sports. Anthony TUIT and Andrew Van Care. How are you doing today, Andrew?
I'm doing all right today, man. How are you doing?
Oh, I'm all right.
You rolled out of bed to this morning, though, so that's always a good sign.
I was watching Batman, man. It was a great movie. If you haven't seen Batman, you have HBO Max, you got to watch that movie right now. Right now. I don't care what you're doing. Watch that movie.
I wanted to see it in theaters for the longest time, but I could never get anybody to go with me. It was so
I would
sad.
have went, but to be fair, I've been drinking sugar tea and sugar water. I'm broke, so yeah, I don't got funds for that, but I do got HBO Max. Shout out to my mom though.
All right, so with every series in the NBA playoffs now at least a game underway, I think we can kind of evaluate where these series are heading. At least in some cases.
No, because every series is tied 1-1. Besides the Nets versus Celtics, they haven't played yet.
Besides that for Celtics and besides Sixers Raptors.
Every series is tied 1-1.
Aren't the Sixers up 2-0 on the Raptors?
Let me see.
And the Heat are up 2-0 on the Hawks.
Well, that's different. Those are the only two games only two series you could say like, oh yeah, like that's done deal.
Oh, and Golden State on Denver, yeah, that's a done deal.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah,
that's done.
But yeah, every other series is tied to 1-1. So, where do you want to start?
I don't know where to start because I watched basketball. I tried to watch basketball last night, but that was some terrible basketball I was watching.
It really was. Let's start with kind of where we started last time with Memphis and Minnesota. So game 2 was a completely different
blowout. Blowout.
Memphis seemed angry.
No, not Memphis. Ja seemed angry.
Yeah. Ja dropping 23. JJJ dropping 16. Desmond Bane dropping 16. Somehow Desmond Bane played the most minutes of anyone on the Grizzlies last night.
Desmond Bane was doing his thing last night, though. That's the thing. That's the only game I actually watched.
So, do you think game 1 was more of a fluke for Minnesota and that Memphis is?
I wouldn't call it a fluke. Memphis came out like, okay, like they thought like it was going to be an easy series. You know what I'm saying? So Memphis didn't really know what Minnesota had to bring. It was more or less of like they didn't know what the hell was going on. So it was like, oh, like all right, it's gonna be an easy game. We could play like a days ago. And they found out that boom, they're ready to play. Like, all right, Cat came out, did his thing. Patrick Bev was playing clamps on defense. You had Anthony Edwards shooting the lights out like nobody's home.
Can we potentially, in like a couple years, possibly call Anthony Edwards and Karl Anthony Towns like one of the deadliest pick and rolls in basketball? Because just the pick and roll and the pick and pop with those two is just insane.
I want to call it insane because I'm not going to lie. Cat's been lacking from the 3-point line recently.
Yeah, that's the one thing. If Cat's shooting is on, that pick and roll is deadly, unguardable. But
right now, you can't even lie. Cat's 3-point shot has not been a 3-point shot that I've seen all season.
No, yeah.
But one thing I will tell you, Anthony Edwards in the next 2 to 3 years, he's going to be the real deal. So watch out, y'all.
Looks like
it's him.
How long before do you think he'll bail out of Minnesota first chance he gets, or do you think he'll stay for a while?
I think Anthony Edwards reminds me of a very old school player. You know what I'm saying? Like he reminds me of like the Michael. No, don't get it. Don't get ahead of yourself now. He reminds me of a way like one of those generational talents that's not going to lead the team. He's not going to lead the team because
he gets hard. Yeah,
he's hard on himself. So I think he's going to stay with Minnesota regardless. Because honestly, like. Don't get me wrong, KG is their best player all time, but I think if Anthony Edwards continues on the route that he's headed for greatness. I think he'll pass KG.
I think if he stays healthy and he stays for the long haul, that's definitely possible. Maybe who knows? Maybe he'll deliver that town a championship somehow.
The world might be over at that rate if that happens.
Hey. The Timberwolves win a title.
Hey.
All right. So how about the surprise upset last night? Now, obviously, yes, Book, I think, didn't play like the last 5 minutes of the game or something with the hamstring injured. Tightness. But still, the Suns just kind of look flat.
They didn't look that great last night. Nice, Andrew.
Apologies, that's my alarm.
He didn't look that great, but Chris Paul, where were you last night? That's all I have to say.
Getting screwed over by Scott Foster again.
Hey. Wait, hold on. Who the Bucks play? In the series they're playing
Chicago.
At least you're not getting messed over by Tony Brothers.
Yeah, exactly.
Tony Brothers. I saw that man with the dirty must look on his face during that game, I'm like, yeah, this series is over. The Bucks won. I'm not trying to sound stereotypical or messed up, but Tony Brothers does not like certain races. I'm not gonna lie because he don't like Jokic, bro. I'm telling you, he does. If you see Tony Brothers coach Jokic's games, though, Jokic gets technical fouls every game.
Oh my god.
Tony Brothers is racist. He's only there for the Afro blacks, bro. I'm telling you, bro. I'm telling you. Tony Brothers does not like white people. He doesn't.
Oh my god.
He has it out for them.
That's hysterical. So yeah, the Pelicans. This just bothers me so much that Zion is not playing. Because I feel like this Pelicans team, the way it's constructed, has a chance to be something. I don't know if it's a title team, but at least make the city of the franchise relevant for the first time since like Chris Paul was around.
I wouldn't say have something like that. They're definitely contenders to be like a second round exit in the playoffs, but they're not something. Zion needs to leave.
You really think Zion like has no?
Think about it, Zion. I was listening to what Ali LaForce was saying, and she said that Zion has been running 5v5s. He doesn't run with the team. He runs his 5v5s with the coaching staff. He's been running coach. He doesn't work out with the team. He works out with his own personal trainer at his own personal gym. He's leaving.
There's going to be something that's going to come out of this when he eventually tries to leave, because if he leaves before his rookie contract is even up, I fear that that's going to set a bad precedent for the NBA.
Of course.
And I feel like the league is going to like try to do everything they can to stop it.
But at this rate, like Zion, you can't lie. Like his first season, when he came out, he gave it his all. He didn't get what he wanted. He's asking for help. I mean, granted, he has Brandon Ingram and CJ McCollum now, but like still, there's
Brandon Ingram, CJ McCollum, Valanciunas,
Jose Alvarado.
You got this young depth. They got a ton of draft capital, and if the Lakers fall into the precipice, they've got all the Lakers picks for like the next 3 years. So they've got like there's so much potentially here, but it's just it needs Zion to work.
Well, Zion don't want to work, so I'm saying. I want Zion to stay, but if it's gonna benefit Zion when he becomes a better player, here's the thing. I'm all for seeing Zion leave, but if he leaves and he does the same thing that he's doing on the next team, then forget it. But
could he potentially go down, like if let's say he doesn't recover into what he was his rookie season, could he potentially go down as like the biggest bust of all time? Like, could he enter like Kwame Brown territory for like biggest bust?
Did you forget about Greg Oden?
Yeah, but I don't really particularly blame Greg Oden. Like, I know he got injured all the time, but like at least he wasn't like looking like a giant ice cream sandwich.
Zion's not looking like a giant ice cream sandwich right now. You have to realize Zion is like Jokic. Have you not seen Jokic in the offseason?
Enlighten me.
Jokic is bigger than Zion in the offseason. I'm not kidding. Jokic will always tell you he 4 bags full to the brim of McDonald's, ice cream, and then doesn't work out until August. Yes. And this is an MVP we're talking about. The
thing with Jokic, though, is that his game isn't so predicated on athleticism. A lot of his game is predicated on his IQ and his skills more so than.
But still, it's not athleticism. But you have to still have some type of athleticism to play basketball. So I'm saying, like, he's completely throwing himself out of that window and frame of like being like working out. He's eating junk food. He's fat.
But the thing with Zion is his game is so heavily.
Oh, I know it's
on his athleticism because he's just 6'8", I think is his official height.
Yeah,
6'8" power forward. I mean, people have been saying since college he needs to lose weight. Like he's too big. And it's just like I know he never wanted to be in New Orleans. I know it seemed like he always wanted to be in New York. That always seemed like that was what he wanted. But it's just like, why didn't the NBA pulled the patent? By the way, I don't know if I've ever told you this. I firmly believe that the NBA draft lottery is rigged.
We've been over this several times.
Have we been over this on the show, though?
No.
I firmly believe that draft lotteries in all sports that have them are rigged. I firmly believe that. And if you think about it from a league perspective, why wouldn't you rig it? It gives you the best chance of making money. Oh, the Pelicans are about to drop way down in attendance and in merchandise money because Anthony Davis is leaving to LA. Well, here's another young superstar for you. The Grizzlies are bottom of the league in attendance. They need a spark. Well, here's John Morant.
Oh, let's talk about the Warriors getting Jordan Poole when they did.
Yeah.
The Warriors weren't even trash. Just Steph Curry was injured, so was Clay. And Katie left.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I forgot to tell you. I don't know if you heard. Did you hear about Tyson Jolly?
No, what did he do?
He declared.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. League that
is
man.
He projected anywhere, or is he?
We don't know yet. We don't know.
Don't know yet?
Honestly,
I hope it works out for him.
I hope he goes late first round. I hope he does.
You think he can?
Well, what he has done this past year, he literally won MAC Player of the Year.
No. I believe me. I understand the accolades. I wonder if the only thing I wonder is if the not making the tournament thing hurt him at all. Because not so much hurt him, but he could have risen his stock.
Of course,
they gotten to the tournament.
Of course, but you have to realize what kind of pull he has behind what we have here.
That's true. And the other thing is, this draft class is not particularly deep.
No.
Like outside of the top 15, it's anyone's guess who goes in the bottom 15.
I can't wait to watch. Picks. I'll tell you that much.
It's gonna be. When's the lottery? Is it? It's usually it's before the finals.
It's usually the Eastern Conference Finals and Western Conference Finals when a lottery takes place, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe you're correct. Yeah.
Because around that same time the lottery comes out when the MVP the MVP winner comes out around that same time.
Yeah, it happens right before the award stuff. Yeah. So, I mean, who the lottery teams this year? It's what the top team. It's what Orlando, Houston,
Detroit.
I mean, look, if I'm a young prospect, I'd rather go to Detroit than anywhere else. At least I get to play with Cade
and Sadiq Bey.
They've got a decent thing going there. The rebuild is on the right track.
Magic, I would say the same thing as well.
Yeah, no, I would.
Because I'm not gonna lie, everybody hated Mo Bamba, but he stepped up. He finally woke up and said, "Wow, what am I doing?" He stepped up.
The Magic just have the worst luck.
Yeah, hands down.
To drafting and having
the best luck they had was drafting Dwight Howard.
Yeah, I mean, did they draft Shaq too?
Yep.
They have a history. No, they have a history of good drafting, but just then it's bad luck. It's either turmoil where they don't stay, or injuries, or this, that, or the other thing. Why does no one want to live in Orlando? By the way, as an NBA player, you're in Florida, you're in Orlando. Is Orlando really that bad of a city to live in?
I wouldn't say that, but if you really think about it, outside of the amusement parks, what is there to do in Orlando? Outside of the amusement parks and that,
Orlando's not a coastal city, right? It's
no.
In the middle of the state. Yeah.
It's in the middle of the state, bro. It's so it's outside of going to Disney World, Universal.
You wonder if there was ever a thought of moving them to Tampa Bay or something.
That would be more ideal, but still, in Florida, if you really think about it, compared to New York, New York is the mecca. You can do whatever the hell you want in New York. Houston, you're in Texas. There's mad stuff to do in Texas. You're in, let's say, for instance, Detroit. I mean, we don't speak on Detroit. Detroit's the dumpster fire in itself. Yeah, what else? Memphis, Tennessee, that's nice over there. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, if I was Tennessee, I'd rather be in Nashville than in Memphis.
Of course.
That is what
it is. What it is, but still.
It is, yeah.
But all the other states, if you even look at even Brooklyn, Brooklyn, you're right there by the city. You have what else? All the Texas teams, San Antonio, Houston,
Dallas.
It's all good spots to be in. It's Orlando, it's in a weird spot because if you look at it outside of the amusement parks of Disney Universal, there's not much you can really do.
I wonder why, in general, why Orlando was chosen as the city for this team. Because, it seems like the NBA is weird sometimes with the cities that it's in. No other professional sports league has a team in Sacramento.
No.
No other professional sports league has a team in Orlando. No other professional
No. Oakland Raiders, yeah. Well, no, that used to be Oakland Raiders, but now it's
Vegas, yeah. But there's been a history of teams in Oakland. There was the A's are still in Oakland for baseball. The Oakland Seals were a team for hockey. They're now in San Jose. They're the Sharks. But it's an interesting thing. I wonder. I'd have to go back and look at it, but I wonder why Orlando was chosen as a city for an NBA team.
Orlando Magic is so down bad. I think that Disney is funding them. It's their sponsorship.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean,
bro, Andrew.
Yep.
We could literally go to Florida next season and literally go to a game and sit literally like maybe 5 rows before the basket for like $40. I'm not kidding.
Are you serious?
I've been to Orlando Magic game 3 times. My grandpa lives.
I hate New York.
My grandpa lives. My grandpa lives literally an hour away from Amway Center, bro. I'm not kidding. We went to a game. I watched Terrence Ross play. I watched who else? Alfred Payton, Victor Oladipo, DeMar DeRozan, and Kyle Lowry on the Raptors. Yes, bro. I've seen it all, bro. I've seen it all. God. I've seen it all. But yes. I've seen Evan Fournier in his prime on that team.
Oh my God, Evan Fournier. Okay, wait, so you got Orlando. So it's Orlando, Detroit, Houston. I feel like Houston is also another spot where people wouldn't mind going to.
Of course not, because Houston has a lot to offer in Houston. There's a lot of stuff to do in Houston. It's not like if you literally look at Orlando is much smaller compared to other big city names that you have. Even Los Angeles, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's weird. It's just in a weird
just a weird
spot.
City, yeah. And then who's the fourth one? It's
what
for the lottery? Is it Portland? Who's like
definitely Portland? Definitely Portland. Has to be.
Let me see. It's OKC, Indiana, and then Portland.
OKC better figure it out. And honestly, we need to talk about this. We need to talk about this. Hold on.
Yeah.
So, if the Jazz lose this series without Luka,
Don's gone.
Okay. So you're on the same side as Stephen A. Smith. You leave that stadium, rip off your jersey, throw it in the garbage, take your own personal plane, and you're leaving the team.
I love Donovan Mitchell. He's one of my favorite players in the NBA, and I love rooting for the small market team. But the Jazz are just broken.
I've been told you it's like, no, the Jazz have a chance.
I will concede to you that I had more faith in them than they deserved. I mean,
I was right. Who's always right?
You were right.
Because I told you, because the Jazz cannot play defense outside of Rudy Gobert. And honestly, Rudy Gobert is not even a good defender to me. And as I was going to say, because people are always going to win defensive player of the year, who won? Honestly, I hate the Boston Celtics, but I commend my boy Marcus Smart. Thank you.
That's been a long time coming for him.
Or Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges got it next season, though. Anyways, like I was saying, outside of Rudy Gobert, the Jazz can't play defense and they cannot score. Rudy Gobert is a terrible offensive player. He's not that great.
I feel like Rudy Gobert
is overrated. Yes.
Rim protecting presence in the regular season overinflates the Jazz's defense. It makes the Jazz's defense look way better than it is.
Anybody could tell you that.
Yeah, it's just. They seem like they're at the reason also, by the way, that I'm leaving if I'm done is because the Jazz have like reached the limit of what they can do.
Money wise,
their cap struck. They've got like no cap space.
No.
They overpaid most of their depth to keep them around. Gobert's contract was obscene, but you needed it to keep him there. You didn't have an upgrade for him at the time. So you're left with you're left with two options if you're Utah after this season, if you bounce out early again. Clearly, this isn't working. So what do? It's either you trade Don or you trade Gobert. What are you going to get for Gobert? Who is going to pay anything near what you want for a center on that contract at his age with his lack of ability on offense? You're not going to get anything for Gobert. There's not anything that would be worth trading him for.
You can get a Vinka Zubac.
You did not just say that.
I just did.
I mean, who knows? Maybe you could deal Gobert to the Knicks and they'd give you a bunch of stuff. That'd be hilarious.
If he came to the Knicks, bro, honestly, like, I would find that Frenchman and we would have to fight. I'm not a Knicks fan.
They would trade, they'd trade Gobert for, like, Mitchell Robinson and Julius Randle or something. That'd be hilarious.
The Knicks did that. I'd honestly
I think the fan base would riot.
Remember the Joker movie?
Yeah.
At the end?
Yeah.
That would be New York. That would literally be New York.
But yeah, so wait, let's get back to Don for a sec. And also, here's the other thing. Utah traded all their draft picks.
I know.
And Quinn Snyder is apparently done. And Quinn Snyder's a good coach.
Oh, we know that.
Quinn Snyder's a very good coach. He's apparently looking at the Lakers job. Which I'm like, at one hand, I'm like, Quinn, why would you look at that?
At the same time, it's like,
at the same time, it's like,
okay, I see.
Quinn Snyder might be the best. If Quinn Snyder goes to LA, that might be the best coach LeBron's played with since he was with Spoelstra.
Frank Vogel's a fluke.
Frank Vogel works when he has the right roster. He's a defensive-minded coach. So when he has the defensive talent, it works. We saw that in Indiana during the Paul George era with him.
Of course.
So, like I said, if he has the right defense, it works. If he doesn't, it's like he's not good.
I got to touch on something, but go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, finish.
Yeah, I mean, without that, he becomes the Frank Vogel we saw with the Orlando Magic, which is just like, I don't think we even talk about that era.
That's like talking about Dwight on Atlanta. No, that one. The Lakers the first time around with him and Steve Nash. No. Oh, we gotta talk about my boy Kyrie Irving. He ain't taking ish from nobody.
He finally is a New Yorker.
He's a New Yorker. I'm not gonna repeat what he said because he's gonna keep it PG up in here. But Lord of mercy, he a New Yorker. He thought it was okay to flip up the double birds behind his head. Said some things to a fade in Boston, and we're gonna see what he does again tonight because I'm all for it. 50K, 100K, whatever the fines.
40 again.
Huh?
He's dropping 40 again.
KD, I don't know what happened to you last game. Where were you in that last play? You watched Jason T. You stood there like this. Jason T. You watched him go right past. You said, "Oop, I wonder what's that over there." Spin move, layup. That was the game. Kevin, what are you doing? You sat there in La La Land and sold me. I literally watched you sit there. I know you know what play I'm talking about.
I know exactly what player you're talking about.
And Kevin Durant was nowhere to be found.
And
where was Nick Claxton? Not even on the court. Steve, in that position, it doesn't matter. If you have, honestly, Andre Drummond's a good rebounder, but Nick Claxton's a way better rim protector than he is.
That's the thing. Andre Drummond has been one of the more overrated. I like Andre Drummond, but he's been one of the more overrated players when he was like with Detroit because he gets so many rebounds, but he does not much else when it comes to.
He's not a good shot blocker.
No.
Nick Claxton, though, is a great shot blocker.
Claxton, like, this Nets. I want to pose to you this question. And I was thinking about this the other day. What would the Nets be had they not made the Harden trade? So they still have LeVert. They still have Jared Allen. They still have all their depth from before they made that trade. Who else did they have? It was Jared Allen, LeVert, Allen,
Dinwiddie. That's right. But Dinwiddie, it would have worked with Dinwiddie because Dinwiddie wanted out.
Yeah, I mean, they probably would have traded him for us in a separate trade anyway. Maybe brought in maybe that would have been the Oladipo trade. They would have brought him in for guard or something. I don't know. But
that means you don't have Ben 10, right? No Ben 10?
That would mean no Ben 10, no.
Honestly, that's still like a finals appearance team.
I think it's a finals winner. You got KD and Kyrie with depth. Like imagine Jared Allen on the floor with KD. So like with Jared Allen, you're not afraid of Philly or.
That means KD would be playing the 4 then. KD could play the 3. You got Nick Claxton and Jared Allen at your 4 and 5.
Yeah, you could if you wanted to do that. You could play KD there if that's where he wants to play. If you want to sub in more shooters with like Joe Harris, you want to put LeVert at 3.
Joe Harris is honestly a lost cause now. I hate to say it.
You know what's going to happen in the offseason? They're going to use his contract to make some like crazy trade.
And if they do that, and some bum, I swear to God, I'm going to be very upset. Because Brooklyn, you have a rich owner and you have a part owner who is also one of the greatest rappers of all time who will do anything for you. And you better not fumble this bag.
Who's the part owner?
Jay-Z.
Oh, Jay-Z.
One of the New Yorkers' very best. And you need to get something going because...
And you've got one of the... Honestly, I think Sean Marks, best GM in basketball right now, I would say.
The amount of talent he's pulled in the past 10 years, bro.
The fact he took the worst scenario of having nothing and turned late round pick swaps and second round picks into guys like D'Lo, Kuzma, Allen, LeVert. I could go on. And then he lured in KD and Kyrie. Like that just.
Was he still the GM when they had the Truth?
No, he became the GM right after they fired Billy King.
Oh, that's right. You're correct.
So right after they fired Billy King, which was 2015, 2017, because they traded Garnett back to the Wolves. They traded Pierce left to the Wizards. They bought out Johnson and Williams.
And I forgot what happened to what's his face? Gerald Wallace. I forgot what happened to him. I think he retired at that rate. I'm not gonna lie. But I'm not going to disrespect Gerald Wallace. Gerald Wallace.
Did they send him back to Charlotte at that point?
I think all the players that originally had the original draft teams besides Paul Pierce went back to the teams.
You know what's really funny though about like that Billy King era for the Nets? When he first started, they tried to acquire Troy Murphy. That was like one of his big actions. He acquired Troy Murphy from I forget where, and he sucked. So then they sent a second-round pick and Troy Murphy to the Warriors for like literally nothing. That second-round pick turned into Draymond Green.
Yeah.
They traded the first-round pick for Gerald Wallace. That pick turned into Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I know. There's not much you can say about that. It's like, what could have been? What could have been?
It's so
sad.
It's so ridiculous.
It's so sad. But we got to talk about football now.
You want to talk football?
Yeah, of course I do. Because honestly, like, what's going on?
So, we are officially 8 days away from the NFL draft.
That is indeed the truth.
We are 8 days away, and next Thursday is the NFL draft.
That's my mother's birthday. That's correct. That's my mom's birthday.
It is the NFL draft in officially 1 week. 1 week and 1 day. So, but before we get into that, I think we might let's talk about somehow Denzel Ward. Are you familiar with Denzel Ward, cornerback of the Cleveland Browns?
Yeah.
Who is somehow now the highest paid corner in league history.
Over Jalen Ramsey. That money he's getting guaranteed is ridiculous.
It's insane. Don't get me wrong. Denzel Ward is a great corner. He's a great corner. He's a great corner.
But
he is not worth that money.
Jalen Ramsey, it's like this. But money-wise, it's like this now.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, Denzel Ward did his thing last season. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, Jalen Ramsey's probably going to complain now. But honestly, Jalen Ramsey, you look terrible in that Super Bowl. I'm not going to lie. You was getting burned.
Jalen Ramsey is like, he's so hit or miss sometimes.
Yes.
He shows sometimes, like, I don't think he's been the same since Jacksonville. Like, I remember the first few years when he was in Jacksonville, he literally locked off half of the field.
Beast. He was a beast incarnate. You could not throw incarnate. You could not throw at him at all. It was a pick or a swat. He was on you like white on rice. He was like that.
I have to ask you a question. Do you think Cleveland has now reclaimed the throne as the most hated team in the NFL by common fans going into next year?
Why do you say that?
I would say mainly probably the Watson thing.
Oh, yeah, but
who do you think, like, because there's always that one team that fans seem to, like, universally, like, despise. Like, in 2018, it was Jacksonville after they all started talking so much after the Super Bowl, after the AFC Championship appearance. Last year, it was the Chiefs. The year before that, it was the Browns when, like, Odell and Landry were, like, talking so much. So, who do we think it's going to be this year?
Honestly, I think it's going to be the Rams.
Yeah?
I mean, the Rams are just pulling more star power and star power by the minute. The Rams is literally the Warriors right now.
Yep.
So I would say the Rams.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. I mean, unless the Joe Burrow stuff and Cincy gets like really intolerable, unless their fan base just becomes really obnoxious.
I don't think they will, because let's put it this way. What does Ohio have to offer? The last thing they won was LeBron. And where's LeBron now? In Los Angeles. There's not much you can do about that. Yeah. They know their place. Ohio, they know their place. They're not like, oh my God. They're not one of those people. I'll tell you, Ohio was a more chiller fan base compared to like your New Yorkers, your Clevelands. Well, obviously your Cleveland Browns. You got the Los Angeles Rams, the Patriots fans. You could put Ohio fans winning, especially Patriots fans. Patriots fans are intolerable.
Oh, I hate Patriots fans.
No, actually, no. I lied. How could I forget this fan base? Because I hope I'm not gonna say that. Let me stop. I just hope that they find God.
You're talking about Jet fans, aren't you?
No, I'm talking about Cowboy fans.
Oh,
they need God.
Oh no. And you missed two of the worst ones. You missed the Pennsylvania fans, Eagles and Steelers.
I can put up with both those fans more than Cowboy fans. For
yeah,
you, it's different. For me,
no. Yeah, no. Cowboys fans are completely obnoxious. You know who I really used to like really despise though was Panther fans. Back when like Cam was like super prime. Cam, yeah, they were insufferable. And the amount of bandwagon Panther fans that I had to deal with, they would just, it was so annoying. Do you remember back in like, what was it, like 2014?
About 2014, 2015.
2015, when the whole dab trend started. Oh my God. Thank God for the Broncos.
Honestly, yes. And honestly, like, I'm not going to lie, like, I'm glad that every year that Eli was in the NFL at the same time as Tony Romo, he shut him down. He shut him down.
Oh, that reminds me. We got to talk about Cam Newton.
We're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. We're not talking about the machinery on that. We're not talking about that.
Oh my God. Let's put it simply like this.
Cam we know what he did. It was all over the internet. We know what he did.
Cam
we know what he
did.
did.
Ended his career. If you don't know,
he didn't end his career. He did end his career.
You really think another team will sign him after that?
It's Cam Newton.
Maybe the USFL or the XFL will sign him.
I don't think he ended his career. I mean, he talks about women, but like, let's put it this way: you got players behind the scenes that we don't know about probably beating their women. It's okay because they got CTE, but we're not going to get into that.
Yeah, I just don't know if the talent is there for him anymore.
Of course not. No, hands down.
All right, so the draft is a week from tomorrow. The Giants have what, 5?
Stop talking about this team in front of my face. They suck.
Which is why they have 2 top 10 picks this year.
And they're going to blow it like they blew it last year by signing Kadarius Toney. No, Kadarius Toney is nice, but no. So we're not talking about it, and we're going to end the show because I don't want to hear about the Giants. The G-Men is dirt. The G-Men is dirt. Jets is dirt. The Knicks is dirt. Nets are semi-dirt. The Islanders is beyond dirt. The Rangers is decent. And then the Yankees is dirt for right now. Yeah. Mets, they're doing their thing. New York sports is in a dumpster fire right now. Brooklyn, I'm entrusting you tonight. I'll be watching that at 7 o'clock.
Brooklyn and Rangers, they are our only hope right now.
And honestly, like, NFL draft, I don't know a lot of picks this year, a lot of players in the draft this year because, like, I slacked this year with college football. I'm not gonna lie. So it's like I want to see what's gonna be. Like, I'm gonna do my research before the time comes and see what I'm feeling for the Giants and what they need to pick up. But I will say this show gotta end. Anthony needs to eat.
All right, bro.
So you can catch us in about like 18 minutes. We'll be back.
We'll be back with another guest.
Another guest, indeed. So we'll see y'all then. Sorry to cut you short, Andrew.